I thought this seemed like you're looking at me.
Good morning. Hello. Welcome.
Thank you for setting up the
I need your help.
I said thank you for setting up the event. Oh, you're fine.
Start this off with you. Great. Okay, we've got it here. I'm Meg. I am part of the social media breakfast board, and I am so happy that all of you are here this morning. Thank you for joining us. We meet every third Wednesday here at Dream Bank for marketing, social media, or otherwise related topic. We also stream on Facebook and LinkedIn. If you're unable to make it in person, you can join us virtually. As I mentioned, I'm part of our board. There are many board members here today that you might have seen who are in this picture and also in real life. And if you would like to be a part of our board, we are looking for board members to join us. Feel free to ask one of us or apply on our website. I want to give a big thank you to Liz. Everybody give a round of applause for Liz. She began volunteering with SMB in 2020. She's been a member of our board since 2021. She was a presenter and she was our president from 2023 to 2024, and she is no longer going to be on our board, which is very sad, but we are so grateful for her contribution, so we just wanted to call her out in a positive way, positive call out. Our nonprofit spotlight is located in the back of the room. We encourage you to stop and say hello afterwards. The Kuyar Solar Foundation promotes the expansion of solar energy in Wisconsin. They help raise awareness of the importance of solar as a way to foster mutual economic and environmental benefit through their CSF Solar Series. If you're interested in learning more, their next event is August 7th from 5:30 to 7:30 at the Madison Public Library's Central Branch, and it focuses on how to deal with climate anxiety. They also asked me to mention that they have 2 grant programs available for both schools and nonprofits. So if you're interested in that, they can answer any questions you might have. I want to say a big thank you to all of our sponsors who make these events possible each month. They are listed here, and you can learn more about them in our emails and on our website. One of our most amazing sponsors is Dream Bank, and I'd like to give the microphone to Andy to say a little bit about Dream Bank.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning. As Meg mentioned, my name is Andy. I'm a member of the Dream Bank team here. Always looking forward to these Wednesdays, and I'll say every third Wednesday, but it really does energize me. I see a lot of familiar faces in the audience, but would love to take a couple moments here and introduce you to Dream Bank for those of you who aren't familiar. So Dream Bank is funded by American Family Insurance, and everything we do here ladders up towards the inspiration and pursuit of dreams, in large part by helping to remove obstacles and barriers along the way. How that shakes out, I'd say, is threefold. So we offer anywhere between 6 to 15 free events a month, all organized through the lens of personal and professional development. I head up a lot of our business-related events, so anything from how do I generate more leads via Facebook ads, all the way to how do I implement a business continuity plan in my small team environment, everything in between. We offer a lot of events that are meant to overcome obstacles and barriers too. One in particular that I'm especially excited about is our Making Time for What Matters course that is coming up. So this is led by subject matter expert John Zaretsky. He's authored several books on time management, really through the lens of productivity. He's done a lot of work with Google, YouTube, Apple. But this is much deeper than just how much screen time are you spending on your phone, how much Netflix are you watching, really a deep dive into are you spending your time that's in alignment with your values, and much, much more. So it's a 5-week course. Registration is still available. There's a bunch of these postcards set out through the space with a QR code on the back in which you can learn more. Well, like I mentioned, 5 weeks cohort-based, multi-week, so you're learning alongside your peers, and then there's a live session each week with John, so you folks have access to it. So in addition to the events that we host, which are both in-person and virtual, we also function as a drop-in co-working space. So I don't know if any of you have yet to explore the rest of the space, a very long space. All of the red tables are kind of our communal co-working space. And how that operates is the first come, first serve. We're open Tuesday through Thursday, 9 to 5. And you're always able to pop in and have a quiet place to work. So complimentary coffee, Wi-Fi, tea, snacks, things of that nature. Many of you, I know, take advantage of the space, especially having meetings after social media breakfast wraps up too. If you have any questions about that, happy to answer that. Also, my coworker Jenna is in the back right there. She's happy to answer additional questions too. And then lastly, we also have a very robust and interactive exhibit on site at all times. Got an oldie but a goodie, been saying that for a while too. It will be changing this year, but the theme of this one is build your dream. So a lot of really cool design thinking concepts and principles as they pertain to dream pursuit. I know where I'm at right now. I know ultimately where I want to be. How do I kind of bridge the gap? So the gap analysis and that, just to name kind of one of the tools and tactics that we have in that exhibit. Oh, also too, when we're not utilizing the space, we also like to offer it to community members to utilize free of charge. So if you're a small team, a nonprofit, you're sitting on a board of, or you're just looking for larger meeting space, you can also reach out to us and we'd be happy to have the conversation. And with that, I'm going to take it back to Mike.
Thank you. And I believe we have a representative from Serendipity Labs here, one of our other amazing sponsors as well. So I'd like to invite her up to talk about Serendipity.
And he's always a tough act to follow. I'm Marissa, I'm operations coordinator over at Serendipity Labs. We are a flexible office and co-working space on the west side. We're off Junction Road. We offer meeting room spaces, we offer day offices if you need an office away from home, and also spaces for meeting and events. Social Media Breakfast has had a couple events with us, and they're going to have their awards bash again this year. We love having them there. So, deal is, if you want to hold a meeting or event or have maybe a training of some sort, you've got a few people, we have spaces for 5 to 50 people, and 60 actually. And those meeting spaces for Friends of Social Media Breakfast are 50% off. You can reach out to me. I have information. We also offering complimentary day passes today. My information's on the back. So if anybody's interested, you want to come out co-work for the day, we have great views, free coffee. You can come check us out. So I'll be here for a few minutes after if you want to talk. Thanks a lot.
Thank you. Reminder not to miss next month's event, which is again on the third Wednesday of every month. We are going to do an event on social media safety for your team. So if you're curious, how do we keep those passwords, maintain those accounts? We're locked out, how do we get back in? We're gonna find hopefully answers to all of those questions. Really looking forward to that one. But what we're all here for today is our wonderful speaker, Scaling Solo, How to Grow Your Socials Without the Overwhelm. So let's give it up for Mariah of Grace Agency for today's presentation. And let's see if we can get my slides up. Andy was teaching me how to do this before. You can do this, everyone, I promise. I love that.
Go to the
That's fine, yeah, we'll get it figured out.
It's like a fully separate one, fully slide it over. Because it is a separate one.
3-finger start.
3.
Oh, wait, there it is.
Okay. Thank you all for coming. My team and I were joking how much we respect you all for doing these things. It's early in the morning. It's very early for us. We're all self-employed, and we don't get up this early, so thank you. And thank you to Dream Bank and Social Media Breakfast for this on.
I love that this is such a cool thing. Obviously, my team and I live and breathe social media every single day, and we have for years. So to see that and be in a room with people who appreciate it and know the value in it is so cool. Because again, as a small team and like a self-employed person, we don't get to work with people other than our clients. So knowing that there's lots of people that understand the value is very exciting. And I want to solve problems for you guys today, but I also want to just like talk, right? So as I go through things, write down questions that you have for me after, and even just things that maybe it's not even a question, maybe it's just a talking point and we can kind of bounce ideas. Because social media, it's 2025, right? Social media, I probably should have, someone ChatGPT when social media started, right? It's not going away. And if anything, it's just going to grow and get bigger and bigger. And how lucky are we that we kind of got into it early and we're still learning and it's evolving and it's just gonna go up from here. So we're gonna solve some problems today, but I also wanna just bounce ideas off each other, okay? So write those things down as we go through. But we're gonna dive into some strategies. We're gonna go over how to grow your brands. I know some of you are business owners, some of you might work for a company that you're managing their brand and doing all the things, but it's overwhelming. And I know that. And I know that firsthand. Right out of college, I was a brand manager, was my first job, and it was hard. And there was a lot of things and a lot of moving pieces. And that was 7 years ago, and there's so much that has grown since then. So we're going to solve problems, but we're also going to figure out how we can do this and do it so that it's fun, because at the end of the day, this is something that should be fun. Social media, okay? We're not, we always joke with my team, we're not in a hospital, nothing is an emergency, okay? We work in social media, we work in marketing, like things can, be important, but just keeping that in mind, it should be fun. Okay, so we've all been there. We all are here today because we know the importance of social media. And again, I appreciate that, I respect that from all of you. But we all know that it can quickly feel like way too much. Strategy, content creation, editing, engagement, the metrics, all the things can add up to be just way too much, especially if you're running it on your own. But then you're also trying to manage those day-to-day tasks. Engagement, posting on stories, being the face, talking with your team, all the different things. We understand it can just be way too much. So we're gonna today address how to get out of that rut and have some strategies, because there are things you can do, right? People, sometimes it just feels too overwhelming. Oh, there's strategies and I should be doing this. No, we're gonna just give you some concrete things that you can take away to do this week. What's today, Wednesday? This week even, still, we got a couple days left in the week. We even have today, it's so early, my gosh, we have a full work day out of us. So we're gonna give you things that you can actually do, so don't get stressed quite yet. So we're going to prioritize, number one. The first step to making sure that you're focused on the tasks that bring the most value. Figure it out. What's going to bring the most value to your brand? Look at your current efforts and focus on those high impact areas. So what's getting the most engagement? What's sparking conversation? Figure that out and focus on that. Prioritize, okay? Then we're going to schedule. We're gonna block off time on our calendar. I do it myself. Heck, these days, I have 2 kids, managing business. I block off time to just be in my office, door closed. Like, we have to do that, okay? Block off time on our calendar each week for content creation, for strategy, for all the things. Don't have it be all clumped together and just say socials. No, we know that there's so many steps of the process. Give yourself time for each of them. And this isn't even in my notes, you guys. Give yourself time for, I call it blank space, okay? time in your calendar. It doesn't have to be a ton, 10 minutes a day to just sit and just creativity takes time, okay? There's a video of this on our social media. Creativity takes time and energy. And if you're doing this by yourself, you need to give yourself that time and energy to be creative. Was that me? No. So if you're feeling like you're in a rut, if you're feeling like you're not being super creative, it's because you don't have time, right? And I get that. Give yourself that time. Maybe you stay up 10 minutes later than you normally would and just be and see what happens. See what comes. Have a piece of paper and be taking notes so that you're ready when ideas spark. For myself, actually, it's when I'm driving in the car a lot because I can't do anything. And then I have my Siri set so that I can like tell it things to write it down for me while I'm driving. That's just personally. But then we're going to automate, okay? It's 2025. If you're not using automation systems or AI, right, you are doing yourself and your brand a disservice. There's so many, I'm not even going to get into, that could be a whole presentation in itself of all the different automation, scheduling, AI platforms that are available for this industry. But just know they're there and it will save you hours every week. Automate your workflows, automate your posts, automate the fact that you need time every week to do these things. Put it on a reoccurring schedule. Just do it. Okay, so these are the things, right? I said we are going to give you concrete things, tangible things that you can do this week to just feel a little bit better. So creating a content calendar. My team loves to do this. We love a good content calendar. Everyone's different depending on your brand and your industry of how far ahead we're planning, right? But planning ahead can just save you a ton of time in general. I'm sure you've heard that before. But even just 30 minutes, map out your content for the next month, the next 2 months. Maybe you're not that, far in advanced type of industry. Maybe you need to do 2 weeks at a time. Even a week is so helpful. Know exactly what you're posting and when. And look on your analytics to know when you should be posting because they will tell you it's never been easier, honestly. When we first started, it was so hard to, what time of day, when are people there? All these things are there to help you. Because that decision fatigue is so real. As a small business owner, I know as you guys just having so many things on your plate, you don't need one more decision to make in a day. So having it laid out for you will be so helpful. It does not need to be fancy. A spreadsheet, a Google Calendar, that will do the trick. Okay, we don't need to get crazy with it because I know at the end of the day, all the automation, scheduling systems, it's an investment and it's worth it. Okay, it is. But if you're not there yet or your team's not there yet, there are free things out there for you. Batching content, again, one of our favorite things to do. It's so fun. It's so easy. It's easy once you get started. I know if you've never done it before, it can feel a little intimidating, but have a plan. Again, sit down, have that quiet space, and just think, what do I need to tell people about my brand? And then have that laid out. Don't go into a content day with nothing or even just, we'll do a little bit of this, maybe a little bit of that. No, it needs to be written down because I guarantee you'll get there and be like, what should we do? I don't know, have it almost to exact, like we're taking a picture of this and then we're making a video of this and almost like so stupidly to the point. It will be so incredibly helpful. But batch that content. You can even prep graphics in advance. Canva's amazing. Batching will help you get into that rhythm, and it will significantly help you reduce that time that you spend on content creation throughout the entire month. And then again, use those scheduling and automation tools. They're there to help you. So once you've got your content all ready to go, use those platforms to schedule all your posts in advance, okay? So this way, all your posts are there, ready to go. And that frees up your time to do the things that, like we said before, are providing value. I guarantee doing engagement and interacting with your audience is going to provide way more return for you than, taking the time to logistically post, but then you don't actually have time to engage, that will be very, very helpful. Okay, so we've done all the things, right? We're like, okay, I'm doing it by myself. I did all the things Mariah told me to do, but I'm still so overwhelmed, and there's so much to do, and I don't even have time to make a content calendar because there's so many things. So how do we know when we need to scale? I was there. I had this kind of aha moment, I guess. I was like emotional in my office. I knew I wasn't doing the job I wanted to do. I knew I wasn't being as creative as I wanted to be for my clients. And I knew that it was time for me. So I don't want you guys to get to that point, right? That's what had to happen for me. But I don't want you guys to get to that breaking point, okay? I want us to have these resources so that we know, are you missing deadlines? Are you posting inconsistently? Are you neglecting that engagement because it's so important? Then that's probably a clear sign that you need help. Again, don't wait until you're at the breaking point. Don't wait until you're like screaming at the top of your lungs, I need help. Do it in a calm way, especially if you have a team that you have to communicate. Hey, I need some help. Go through these steps, okay? But say we're ready. Say we've communicated to our team. Who are we looking for? What are we even, I don't even know where who would I even look for, right? So there's tons of different options out there, okay? Freelance content creators are amazing. So if you just need help creating that content or managing specific projects, videos, graphics, photos, hiring a freelancer is a great and affordable way to scale. They usually charge per project, so you can hand over the work with clear guidelines. Again, that will take a little bit more work on your part because you have to be super specific about your brand and what you're trying to get out of that. But typically, you could probably expect to pay anywhere between $30 to $100 an hour, depending on experience and the type of work that you're looking for. A virtual assistant is also an amazing option. Fun fact, Ray's agency was actually started as a virtual assistant company. So I do have lots of experience as a virtual assistant. They're amazing. They're typically that lower cost. So depending where you are budget-wise, they can help more on the administrative tasks side of things because maybe they don't have necessarily experience in the industry itself. But that would be great for helping, automate those workflows, or maybe you even need help figuring out what workflows you need to put in place. But you could expect to pay them, roughly $20 to $40 an hour, again, depending on your industry and what the work is that they're doing. An agency is another, but that's a little bit more of a comprehensive solution, right? So an agency will take care of everything for you. There's a number of different ones here locally, but just in the industry in general. So from strategy, execution, hiring an agency will get you, again, that full service experience. People are always asking me, what does agency even mean? It means that we're a team of experts, right? So we're not just a bunch of people that are put together and it's like, oh, we're a team. No, it's everyone has a specific role because they're an expert in that role. So if you hire an agency, you just have to be prepared budget-wise, but also that you're probably going to get a bunch of real people that are really good at their job. So just keeping that in mind. Again, that's for a business, if you want to build that kind of robust, strategic approach, it'll be more of a long-term solution than, say, a freelancer or a VA. But agencies, again, it truly just depends on industry and location, but you could expect to pay anywhere from $1,500 to $10,000 a month for that kind of budget-wise. But keep in mind, no matter what route you end up going with, you're investing in your brand, and you're gaining, for the agency side, you're gaining an entire team of experts. So imagine how long that would take you if you tried to get that kind of in-house. That's kind of where that side lies. A full-time staff member is also an amazing option. That would be kind of, again, that kind of more dedicated long-term investment. But hiring a staff member could be, then they're more in-house. You can kind of train them how you want them to know things about your brand. They could be there for the kind of day-to-day operations. They're there if you have kind of like a more brick and mortar style business where they need to be in-house every day kind of thing. The full-time obviously comes with, that's probably the most budget-wise, that's going to be the most highest cost commitment, just because you're paying salaries and benefits and all the things. And then a social media intern is actually another fabulous option as a great starting point. Again, it's going to depend on where you're at with your business and your brand, but interns are amazing and they are like super eager and wanting and ready to learn. And especially in this industry, a lot of this can be taught. So obviously you would want to hire an intern who knows a little bit what they're doing, because a lot of what we do, they're probably doing just personally for themselves anyways. So just for my own experience, it can be taught, but it's better to hire someone who has a little bit of a portfolio already built, because it's going to take time and energy for you to teach that. But at the end of the day, no matter who you bring on, no matter if you're ready to scale, and no matter what route you end up going, it's your job to communicate your brand efficiently and effectively so that they can like be part of it and then get that out to the world, right? So having a brand guide is going to be first step, okay? So say you're ready to bring on a team, you need to have that brand guide ready to go. If you're telling your team that you're like, hey, I need help, show them the brand guide and say, this is what I plan to have. And I'm sure you guys already all like have that, but maybe you don't. And this is the first you're hearing it, but this should be outlining your brand's tone, even as down deep as like emojis. Like what emojis do we use in captions, right? It sounds ridiculous, but it's so important when it comes to your overall brand. Preferred language, do's and don'ts. That way, anyone who you bring on, no matter what level you go to, that will help you be able to communicate your brand authentically and consistently, okay? Because maybe you try an intern and it doesn't work, and you're like, oh, maybe I want to go this route. And then that way you have something that's strategic, and that should change over time. Your brand guide should change over time. It should evolve with your business as your business evolves, and as the brand evolves. So just keeping that in mind, because that's probably a project that you'll have to kind of look at every once in a while. But when you're hiring, look for someone with expertise in the specific areas that you need help most. Figure out what you're good at and what you like doing, and hire the opposite. I'm sure you guys have heard that a million times, but if you like doing the scheduling and the strategy and the planning, hire someone to do all the other things. If you're really bad at taking photos and creating the content or being creative, hire someone for the creative. It sounds simple, but sometimes you just have to like drill that in, because I even just for myself realized that early on, that I was like, I need help, but I want to do it all and I don't want to give away the reins. But it's like, okay, Mariah, there are people that are probably better at you than some of these things, and just kind of looking internally and realizing that. Okay, so we're ready to scale. We know what the options are in terms of who we could possibly hire. But then if we're coming to our team or we're trying to figure out, okay, is it the right time? How are we even gonna know? Well, we can track some of these things, okay? I hate analytics, I hate metrics. But it's so important in this industry because they're only there to help you, and we have to focus on them, okay? So to scale efficiently, you need to understand your return on investment, okay? I'm sure you guys have all seen ROI. I like to say return on investment because sometimes it just gets a little confusing. So engagement rate is number one, what we're gonna look at, okay? Are people liking, commenting, sharing your content? What's the conversation? Engagement is one of the best indicators of content quality. High engagement comes with consistency. Okay, consistency takes time and energy, kind of like what I was saying about time and energy, creativity, consistency. It all takes time and energy. You will not get that high engagement by posting once, twice, even 3 times a week. Like, you have to be consistent. You have to be in front of people. And I'm not saying you have to post 3 videos a week. I'm saying you just have to be there. Kind of like how Andy said he saw some familiar faces. You show up. You have to be there. People, when they see you on social media, they feel like you're there. They feel your brand. They feel the presence, okay? You have to be consistent. The algorithm loves that consistency, but they also love an active account, okay? We can't just be posting. We can't just be engaging. We have to do both. So if you don't feel like you can, hire someone that can, because we have to do both. And a key point here, again, the consistency. That's really from this whole thing where I want to go with that. Conversion rate, okay? How many social interactions are leading to those conversions? For example, are the followers that you have on your account becoming leads or customers? Personally, for my businesses, 95% of my leads come from Instagram. And I don't even pay for Instagram. I'm not Meta verified. I'm not nothing. I'm just consistent. At least I try to be, right? Or, it comes from word of mouth or client referrals, but tracking that, seeing if it's worth it, return on investment, okay? Website traffic and sales is also a great way to track. Is the traffic coming from your social channels? Have that on there so you can see. It will feel so good. It feels so good even just for me when I get a lead and it says how they found you, right? And it says social media. I love that. That's amazing. It's working. It's worth my time and energy. I also, for the website traffic and sales, I love that because social media at this point in time is free, right? Unless you're outsourcing, unless you're doing the paid ads, all that. I am a strong believer that in a couple years, we will all have to pay to be posting on any form of social media as a business, because it's not going away. It's only doing as good. It's crazy to me that it hasn't happened yet, but we'll see if I'm right or not. But it's free right now. So yes, it might take your time and energy, but utilize it all we can, right? So these metrics are not only going to show you the value of your current efforts, but it will also help you justify bringing in that additional help. Again, whether you're trying to communicate that to your team or just to yourself, it will help you justify that. So outsourcing, hiring out, again, those specific tasks, social media management, content creation, strategy, whatever it is you're not good at or you feel like you need help with, outsourcing those will help alleviate that burden and the overwhelm. Agencies can offer that kind of comprehensive service, so you don't have to worry about piecing together a team of freelancers, a team of interns, which alone would take so much energy and time away from your brand and what you're trying to do for it. They can handle content creation, strategy, management, logistics, making it all easier for you and your brand to scale. In all of this, I want you all to know that it is possible to maintain that control when scaling. Again, I felt that myself. I wanted to do it all because I didn't want to let go of the reins. But you just have to be sure to have that clear process and expectations in place, the brand guides, so you're still in the loop and you're guiding the direction. Sometimes people get overwhelmed and they're like, but I want to do it. I want to be part of it. And that's amazing. And you should be. Depending, what world you're in, maybe you're the face of your brand. Maybe you're the manager of your brand. You need to be able to communicate that. And if you're working with the right person or the right team, they'll understand that. And if they don't, it might not be the right person for you. So, when you're ready to bring in that extra support, it's important to communicate your decision effectively. Use those metrics to show the value of investing in that additional help, because it is an investment at the end of the day. It's going to cost money. It has to be in the budget. It has to be. Because it's your brand and your brand awareness that's at stake. and showing them that data, the hard numbers that can help persuade team members, stakeholders, or leadership that it's time to scale. Have that clear plan too. Present a plan of how scaling might help meet business goals, and it can push your brand to be everything that it could possibly be. But be transparent, right? Be realistic and have those timelines and those expected results. Don't just say, well, we could do this, or we could get to this number. Be realistic, have that kind of timeline set out. That way, everyone is kind of in alignment on that. Because you all have the same goal, okay? Getting your brand to be the best it can be and showing your audience everything that you have to offer. So, we're setting clear goals. Is the first step to scaling, okay? What do we want to achieve in the next 3 to 6 months? Write it down, or tell Siri to write it down. Talk through it with your team, or if you're solo, talk to a friend, talk to a significant other. Just talk through it. Make the goals hard. Make them worth reaching for. Don't just, put it so it's like, oh, this is realistic. No, make them crazy goals. Because what's the point of setting goals if we're probably going to reach them in a week? Let's make them something worth reaching for. Track the process along the way using those metrics that we discussed. And once your goals are clear and your process is tracked, take that action and make it clear that you need support. Again, don't wait until you're burnt out. It's probably the worst thing you could do. Okay. So let's recap and let's rein it in here. We're going to prioritize and streamline. We're going to focus on those high impact tasks that align with your goals and make sure you're not spreading yourself too thin. We're going to track those metrics and understand them, because I know even for myself, it's like, okay, yep, that's what that is, but what does it mean? And maybe you need someone to help you with that. Maybe you need a specialist so that you can understand those metrics, especially that engagement and the conversions. That will help you understand if it's working and what might need attention. Know when to scale. So when things are slipping through the cracks, it might be time to consider scaling. So whatever that means, outsourcing tasks, bringing in someone in-house, hiring out an agency, whatever that looks like for you, but just recognize the signs early. And then hire right. You might not get it right the first time, but just keep going and keep trying. So when you're ready to scale, try maybe to do it right the first time, right? Hire the people with the right expertise and set clear expectations from the start about your brand. And then finally, automate and outsource. So take advantage of those automation tools, outsource those specific tasks that keep running so that you keep things running smoothly and not add stress. And then who knows, you might have some fun in the meantime, because scaling doesn't have to be overwhelming. If you have the right strategies, and then you can grow your brand's presence online and still maintain that control and avoid that burnout. And again, you might have some fun. Oh no, was that not up the whole time? Write it down. Or we'll send it, I think. We'll send it. Okay, sorry. Okay. Thank you.
Do we have any questions this evening?
Yep, too much. Understand. I know the protocol. Yes. All right. Well, I got 2 questions, but I'll just throw one at you right now. What are your favorite automation tools?
So I've used a lot, and I think I'm still looking for the right one, to be honest.
So give me maybe the top 3.
Oh, absolutely.
Helps.
ChatGPT.
Okay.
Okay. Pay for it. Pay for it, because you can use the free version of ChatGPT and it will be amazing. But they're not telling us everything that they have, okay? My husband jokes about this all the time. He's like, do you know what they actually have? They're not going to give it all to us right away. So pay for it, okay? Pay for Canva. pay for ChatGPT. And then right now, my team, we use Vista Social for the scheduling. They also have analytics. I've also dabbled with Later and Planoly. They're all relatively the same. Right now, we are utilizing Vista Social as our management application.
All right. I do, but I
She
can go
might have
back.
you. Oh, go ahead. Another one.
All
Yes,
right.
of course. Sorry.
Yeah. So as far as your favorite VA options, what are your top 3 VA options, and what are the big things that you look for?
So do you mean like when you're attempting to hire a virtual assistant?
Yeah, and in particular within the context of social media,
Of
what are the
course.
big things to look for?
So My VA Rocks is a virtual assistant company in Madison. I'm sure you guys have all heard of Ashley. She's fabulous. Her team is amazing. So if you're looking towards the virtual assistant route, go to her and they'll get you someone. If you're looking for someone specifically for industry, virtual assistant might not be my preferred recommendation. Virtual assistant, again, will get you those kind of tasks out of the way, the more logistical, administrative tasks. If you're looking for help with social media, I would almost get more specific and go either, if that's kind of the budget area you're in, go the intern route, go maybe the part-time employee route. A virtual assistant, when you're thinking social media, is going to help more with the logistical administrative stuff.
Yes. What does a day of batch creating look like for you guys?
Oh, it's so fun. Go to our Instagram. We have so many videos. That's like all we post these days because we just love content days. So we call them content days, right? So there's a lot that goes into them on the back end and front end. But we just post the fun part, right? Which is actually making the content and shooting it for clients or even for our own brand. But it's a lot of work, but it's a lot of fun. And it looks like prepping, right? We have that strategy. What are we making and why, and what's going to provide the most value? And then we make it and it's super fun. And we try to have fun with it because I will say it again, you guys, this is supposed to be fun. Okay. I know it's our job also to have all these things checked off the list and to get something out of it at the end of the day. But I am a firm believer that if you have fun in the process of doing something, you'll probably do a way better job. But yeah, head to our Instagram if you want to see an actual what it looks like. It's hard to explain.
You can hold that.
I was curious if you could talk about how you grew your team and how you found talent. Did you work on platforms like Indeed or,
Totally. Yes. I wondered if I should put a slide about that in here, but it's so hard because everyone that's in this room right now is so different in terms of where they're at. But yeah, personally, I started with hiring one person. I was by myself. And I hired one person and I hired them very part-time, almost at the intern level. We live in a college town. There's so many willing and eager students out there. And then I learned very quickly that what I needed was someone who didn't really need the coaching and the teaching and that kind of thing. I learned that for what I needed was help. I needed help. So I then pivoted and only hired people that knew what the heck they were doing. My team is here as well. So say hi, guys. So we're all, again, experts in the industry, experts in what we're doing. So then again, I pivoted and hired people that were experts in what they were doing. And fun fact, Jenna actually found me through a TikTok video. Which is so fun to think about. And then she saw that it was Madison and she was like, oh my gosh, that's in Madison. And, so getting kind of creative with it can be fun, but obviously, LinkedIn and Indeed, nothing's going to go wrong if you just go do that route as well. Yeah.
Question over here.
Thank you. So I run socials for a conservation organization, and I feel like we have a lot of moving pieces, like grant making, fundraising, field trip program, and sometimes I feel like I'm giving our followers whiplash with so many different things to talk about. So I was just curious if you had any advice on that, and if there is such a thing as posting too often on socials.
That's a great question. I would say the answer is no. It just depends what you're posting. A lot of our clients, we prefer quality over quantity, right? The algorithm's gonna love it, right? At the end of the day, the algorithm loves consistency. It's gonna love that you're posting. Your audience just depends, okay? But it sounds like what you guys have and what you might need, and I'm sure you already have these, is your content pillars, right? So if you have all these different brackets that you're trying to hit them, right? Hit them within a week, see what performs the best, see what your audience is liking, and maybe just focus on those. And then you can have information for your other brackets, maybe on your website or on your highlight icons, have it accessible, but post what your audience likes, and post what makes sense for your brand.
Start here and then I'll
LinkedIn question. How do you balance between your own personal LinkedIn posts versus having a company page?
Yeah.
Your smaller company. I'm
1,000%.
Yeah. How do you balance what you're posting, on the company page versus on your personal? Or do you even bother having a company page if you're that?
LinkedIn is a beast. I always say that. It's such a beast on its own. In our agency, actually, we don't even dabble with LinkedIn. I'll be honest. We don't, because this is my stance on it. LinkedIn is for such a specific category. Like you said, it's so specific when it comes to posting, right? So if you're LinkedIn, you should be posting on both accounts, right? Your main account, you can't really hire out for that, right? People want to hear what you have to say. It should be coming from your brain. It shouldn't even be ChatGPT. Like, it needs to be you. And people, Ashley Powell, Leah Rowe, Dan's wife, those are fabulous people for examples of how I think you should be interacting on LinkedIn, because they just show their life and they're not as, it's 2025. And I do think LinkedIn is shifting to be a little bit more like all the other platforms and not so stiff and, hey, I got this promotion, and hey, like share your thoughts, share what you're having for lunch, like just share, people like it. And then on the business pages, again, sharing, but it's not quite there yet, even like in terms of like Instagram, because you're so right, it's just different. So keep it up to date. People like it and they like to see what's happening and staff birthdays and just like, you can have fun with it, but just know you're not alone. It's a beast for sure. Yeah.
So it sounds like your most active or your most successful platform for yourself is Instagram.
Correct.
So I'm wondering what type of content formats work the best for you. Is it Reels? Do you even bother with the grid? Are you doing static? Like, do you have to do 10 pictures in a carousel for the grid? What kind of content is successful for you?
So everyone's account is going to be different, you guys. So what works for my brands is not going to work for yours. Personally, videos perform the best for both of my businesses. One of my businesses is photography, so that one we do post mainly static. You guys know, like we post static photos, but you do got to throw a reel in every once in a while to spice it up. But it's different for every brand. You have to just try it out. Try out all the things. Try out posting only videos 1 week and then post, change it up and then look at the metrics and see what's working and see what people again like, and go from there. Absolutely.
Yeah, and thank you for the amount of questions that are being asked shows that we trust you as an expert.
Yeah,
this is really
of course.
helpful. To add on to that, I'm curious about like what your funnel is from like social media to lead to customer, or like the CTAs that you use, or like that specific. I'm sure it's different for different businesses.
It's different. Yeah, it's different for every brand. But CTAs have never been more valuable, and it's hard because within my own brands and within any of my clients' brands, you can't be salesy. And it's so hard. It's so hard to not be salesy because like at the end of the day, you're just trying to make sales and like you don't want it to seem like that. So there's ways to go about it. There's ways to have those call to actions and not be salesy about it, right? So that again could be a whole presentation and in itself. And I'm sure that's like a great, and maybe you guys have already done that, but putting it in there, but I'll just say, try not to be super salesy about it. People want problem solved. They want to be entertained. They want to be inspired. They want to be educated. They don't want to be sold to.
I was curious if you have, this is a little bit more specific, but like a go-to strategy for growing followers. Like, is there, I know that it's very specific to each business, but is there something that like across the board works well?
Across the board, consistency. Honestly, like when we bring clients on, I say I need a minimum 6 months. Consistency. Look at any brands. I mean, it's hard because nowadays, like you could post a video and it could go viral and for no reason at all. And it's just like, that's crazy. So take that side out of it. And just and thinking about just any normal account. And it also helps if there's something to root for. I always say, like, I love working with small businesses and just like local entrepreneurs because people love someone to root for, and they love seeing the story behind it and how did you get here and just where did you start from, and wow, you're amazing, but like, how do I do that? Because where did you start? Like, what's the starting point? So consistency, showing your face, and not thinking too hard about it, I guess. Yeah.
We have an online question from Whitney. She is asking, how do you choose the best hashtags to use, and what do you do to make sure your content gets seen?
Yes. So again, that could be hashtags, could be a whole presentation in itself. Luckily, hashtags, I mean, they've been ebbing and flowing, right? Like you guys know. I think nowadays it's you need a handful. It used to be, remember when they used to have to post like 12? Like it's literally this long and it's just all hashtags. There's so many, since Meta integrated and they have all this AI stuff in there that I don't even know if you guys are realizing, like they're seeing everything is tracked. So you can do the research to know what hashtags are right for your business, because again, it's different for every business. It's different for every post, which is so annoying because you can do all the branded hashtag research when you're building out your strategy, but then it's going to change depending on what you're posting, who it is you're trying to target within that post. So I guess I would just say take the time, because it is worth your time, because hashtags are a way for people to find you if they're not, if they're searching for it and that kind of thing. So being specific about it, but then knowing that it's going to take some time to just like do the research.
Any other questions? Gray?
Talking into my coffee cup. Along those lines, there seems like, every week there's a new platform that's out there. How do you evaluate whether it's worth investing time in a new platform or when it's time to leave an old one?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think it's just, you just play with it, right? It's, again, different for every industry, different for every brand. Personally, I like to let other people explore it, and then I'll jump in when it's like, okay, this is a proven concept, and like now I guess I'll join the trend, right? Threads, and there was that Lemonade was a thing for a while, and it was just like, you can let other people take, if you don't have that time and energy, right? Like we're trying to get everything done that we can, and just like, and then there's, throwing all these other things at us. So you can let other people do the hard work and like wait to jump in until it's like a proven concept, I guess. And that's what I've done, because what's the point of, I don't see any value in jumping in early and then, and then everyone else is there. And then maybe you were there a little earlier, and then it's just like, just taking time and energy away from things that are already proven and going to provide your business. Because it's different if you're just doing it for fun and it's like on your own time. But if it's on like business hours and like you're trying to actually get that kind of lead generation and that kind of thing out of it, it's like, it has to be worth it. Yeah.
Anybody else? All right, let's give it up one more time for Mariah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
I also would like to know, does anyone have a birthday coming up soon? In the month of June? Anyone have a birthday in the month of June? You have a birthday in the month of June. Congratulations. You have won a $10 gift card to J&J Gifts, one of our amazing sponsors. So happy birthday from Social Media Breakfast. And again, thank you all for coming today. Our next event is the third Wednesday in July, talking social security and account security. So we hope to see you there. Thank you.
That's so funny.
It is a challenge.